It is an incredible survival story. Alex Scott was hit by an alleged drunk driver while riding his motorcycle. The woman who hit him took off and left him for dead. The twist, when first responders found him, they quickly realized they were working to save one of their own. Steve Kelso has the story.
The 4th of July in Hopkins can only mean one thing, a giant town-wide celebration. But perhaps no one has more reason today to celebrate than Alex Scott. You see, on this 4th of July, he's working to regain his independence, and he knows he can do it with the help of his friends.
This is the back where I got hit by her, and then I ended up rolling on the asphalt, and this is kind of where that went.
This is where Alex Scott's story begins, along a rural stretch of 20th Street in Allegan County. He was riding his motorcycle home at about 9:30 a week ago Saturday night. He was about to turn into his driveway when he was hit from behind by a drunk driver.
And I remember flying through the air, and I remember feeling my whole left side, all my ribs getting crushed by the roof of the car.
As Scott lay in this ditch, a Good Samaritan found him and called 911. Another ran to his house and told his parents what had happened.
He just said, "Mom," I said, "Mom, I love you." And his eyes were rolling back in his head, and he was pure white, and his lips were white. I said, "I'm going to be okay. I'll be okay."
Firefighters had no trouble finding Scott. In fact, they'd known this address for years. That's because Scott himself is a member of the Hopkins Fire Department. His best friend, the guy he graduated fire school with, the guy he started on the same day with at the fire department, was one of the first on the scene.
Remember, I said, "Who is it?" He said, "Trevor Bilby." I said, "Trevor, I love you so much, but I don't think I'm going to make it. I think this is it."
First, he thought he was dying. He was able to start saying his goodbyes, and then he's kind of got the fighting spirit about himself, and he was able to tell me some of his injuries.
Once Scott arrived in the trauma unit at Spectrum Health, he again found himself in familiar hands. His sister is a nurse there, and she found herself looking her brother face to face, this time as a patient.
So I went straight to the surgeon that was on, and I've known and worked with him for a lot of years. This is Donald Skelton. He's a trauma surgeon that was on, and I grabbed his arms. I said, "This is my brother," and he said, "Oh no."
Today, the same fire trucks that came to Scott's rescue are on display as part of the Hopkins 4th of July celebration. Scott's father says seeing his son back in the firehouse makes this day that much more special.
It's a day to celebrate our country's independence and certainly celebrate our son's life.
In Hopkins, Steve Kelso, 24 Hour News 8.